I have one of this WeCreate Vision laser engravers and cutters, and I really love it. The only thing I didn't like is that the engravings were a little offset, and I never knew how to fix it. So I made a little grid to see how off it was being after engraving, and I noticed that it was probably like an eighth of an inch off to the top or on the y-axis, and the x-axis was fine. A while ago, I called WeCreate and I asked about this. They didn't know what to tell me about it. However, I accidentally came up on a setting, and I figure out that we can correct this. So if this helps anybody, I moved this, and now it's hitting right on the target. I mean, just a fraction of a millimeter off, but it was much better than it was before. I'll show you what I did. I made a little grid. So every little square that you see here, it's about an eighth of an inch from each other. And I created this that is a quarter of an inch, and it just has a crosshair. If I engrave this, just a line engrave right on the center like that, it would print on the X axis correctly, but on the Y it would go like almost an eighth of an inch up. So I came up on this setting. So if I go up here and I go up onto settings, again, when I call WeCreate, they didn't know what to tell me to correct that. They thought it was just me doing something wrong, but as I was doing other things over here, I found out this flat surface processing offset. So of course this is to correct that offset. If you click that, it'll tell you what it's for. So I just offset it for about an eighth of an inch up. So I did negative 0.1 up, and the one on the X is pretty much good. I'm gonna print a regular one just at 0 so you can see how it looks. Let's see, so I'm gonna do it like that, close it, and I'm gonna print one right there on that part of the grid. I'm gonna autofocus it and then send it, and then I'll show you the result. I repositioned it to this spot because the grid looks better. And now let's go to the other side, and I'm gonna send it to the laser, and I'll show you the results. So it would be around that area. Let's fire it up. And if you see, it's just a little bit off set. So back at the screen, you'll see it more obvious because it looked little, the difference looked little on the laser itself. I had not moved it, it's still there. So I'm gonna refresh. I'm gonna hit the refresh button so the view resets over here, and you'll see how off it is. You see, it's almost an eighth of an inch up. So I need to bring it down. I think I said earlier the other way around, but in reality, it's engraving an eighth of an inch, almost an eighth of an inch below where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna change the setting again. Settings, and I'm going to change this to negative 0.1. I'm going to close it. I'm going to autofocus again before I put it back on a different spot. So I'm going to put it just to the next square, just so you can see the difference real quick. On the X axis, I think it's okay. I could move a little bit, but I think I can live with that. I could do a negative 0.001 on the X axis, but I don't think it's necessary. So again, this is where it's located, just very close to the existing one. And now I'm gonna go do it on the laser and I'll show you the results. All right, we're back here. Remember, this square is about 1/8 of an inch below where it's supposed to be, and it's gonna print it on, let me see if I can show you here. Where's nothing right? So it'll be a little bit to the right on that square right there. You see, now it's engraving exactly what it has to do. I'm gonna modify the other one just to see what happens. So I'm going back to settings and I'm gonna move this x-axis instead of 0.1, just a negative 0.01, and see how much it moves it on the grid. Just to see what happens. I'm gonna refresh, so it refreshes over here. I'm gonna move this a little bit to right here, this other little grid section. I'm trying to just center it as much as I can. Autofocus, and I'm gonna send it to the laser and I'll show you the results. So I guess every laser could be a little bit different, but I'll show you what mine is doing. So it's gonna print in between those two to the right. That's the area where it's supposed to cut, or sorry, engrave. So let's see what it does. It's right on the money. All right, so back at the screen, I just refreshed and it looks fine. To me, it looks great. Like it's right on the money. It's engraving right where I want it. So I hope that setting helps you. Remember, it's on the settings section when you go to the menu on the top left and look for flat surface processing offset and correct that however you need to. All right, bye.